Hello.
Hey, Matt.
Hi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you, man? Hey, how do you pronounce your name?
It's Mayank.
Mayank. Okay, well, it's nice to meet you, man.
You too. I love the
Yeah.
you guys are doing with Implant Dojo.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's getting there. We're almost gonna have people. Almost gonna have it ready to have people visit.
Okay, sounds great.
Where are you from, man? Where are you? Where am I calling you from?
I'm from Stockton, California.
You're from Stockton, dude? Seriously?
Yeah.
No way. You're like just right out here. I'm in Quail Lakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look, I'm overlooking Quail Lakes right now.
Oh, oh yeah. I'm out in 8 Mile.
Oh, okay. Sweet, dude. Yeah. I live here on in Brookside.
Hmm.
Yeah, but our office here is in Quail Lake. So, dude, that's super. Did you know we were in Stockton?
No, I didn't know. Like,
That's so random.
yeah.
That's crazy, man. 209. That's awesome.
Nothing. So I just got into I just got accepted into dental school like this like a couple of weeks ago on the first. And I hadn't really like in my mind I knew it was gonna be like a lot of like the cost and everything, but then the more I like looked into it and I like did the numbers, like I'm looking at like because I just got into California North State, which is just down the road in Elk Grove.
Mhm.
And it's a but they don't accept federal loans because it's a new school, so it's only private.
Mhm.
So like I'm looking at like 422 just without cost of living on like and I did an average of like a 9% private loan because it's like somewhere in between. And I was wondering like how like dentists nowadays are like coming out of school and like being able to pay this debt off because I'm looking at like a 10-year repayment calculation and it's coming out to like $5,400 a month for this loan, and
How much is it coming out to owe total?
total 550,000 with living and everything.
Sorry, no, I mean, at 9%, paying it in 10 years, how much are you paying total?
Oh, I didn't do that one.
You're probably gonna pay like 700,
Yeah, something around that. And I
right?
was like, and then I was looking at like the average income that dentists are making out of college in California specifically. And it's like after taxes and everything, it's like $8,400 take home. And it was like if I subtract like 5,500 or like say my living expenses are included and I'm taking on like a $550,000 loan, like that's like $7,000 a month in payment, and like that doesn't leave like much room to like live with or like save and things like that. So I was wondering like,
$1,000 left over to buy your instant noodles.
yeah, so I was like wondering like, is this gonna be like a smart financial decision down the road? Because I was like debating on whether to even go to dental school or like do like a coding boot camp or get like a master's in computer science and
Mhm.
try to break into the tech industry instead.
So you're already accepted, right?
Yes.
And you've already spent all of your time um, struggling to get through the DAT and get grades and all that stuff, right? Yeah. And so now, right before you click accept, you're making the rational decision to evaluate whether or not this makes economic sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people, I'd say, they they're the competitive mindset that they're like trying to crush the DAT, crush their classes, and they get accepted, and then they're so excited to get accepted that they take any loan and go forward without thinking about the consequences. That's exactly what happened to me, and I didn't have the maturity to think about it from the perspective that you're looking at. And so what ended up happening was I was unaware that I would be paying $8,400 a month in automatic repay, right, as soon as I graduated. So that's an extraordinary financial burden. And then it makes you wonder, like you look at your friends that don't graduate with that debt, and I mean, even the person that will give you like your McChicken sandwich will be better off than you are,
Mhm.
right? It's quite a terrible and terrifying place to be. So you're absolutely right that that's a hard choice. You're going to be looking at a 9% repayment for sure.
Around there because it's only private, and I've just like I like keep up with the news and everything, and like like they just talked about it today how to like combat inflation, like banks are gonna start raising interest prices like next year and things like that, and like even with private loans they always give you like a 5 to 12% like margin. They don't tell like, and they can adjust it whenever they really want. And so like I would assume with like the federal government raising interest in the upcoming years, like the Fed like private would also raise their interest. So maybe it would be even more than 9%. But I just took it like in the middle just to be safe.
Yeah. So um, this is what I would say to you, man. So if you're looking for the best return on your money and your time,
Mhm.
I would not recommend dentistry, right? If you want to do dentistry, it should be because you enjoy sitting next to a patient and dedicating your time, like your life,
Mhm.
right, to making people better off
Yeah.
by, like, actually having a drill in your hands. You're like, drilling in their mouth. You got stuff splashing everywhere. But it's got to be because it makes you happy to make something better, to make that person's health better, right? So if that's something that you really love and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm like passionate about it, dentistry is a great career because you basically do that every single day of your life, and you'll eventually pay that loan off because dentistry pays well. It's like ultra stable and
Mhm.
it pays well. And so your loans will eventually get paid off. If you don't have to worry about, if you don't, you basically don't have to worry about whether a loan or not that loan will get paid off, because it will. You'll be
Mhm.
able to do the thing that you love to do and get paid to do it and not worry about it. So if you know that that's what you'd like to do, then by all means, dentistry is worth it. But if you're like sitting there thinking, okay, what's going to get me the best return on my investments? There are several other things that you can do with a much lower risk, a much lower financial risk, that will get you immediate return on investment. Well, not immediate, but faster return on investment than dentistry. If you did a coding boot camp, although that's getting a little bit saturated now, right? A lot of people are doing those. If you did another career, even dental hygiene, right? Dental hygiene, still in the dental field, you get a faster return on your investment. So I'm not saying that's what you should do, but I'm just saying that there are alternatives that might make more financial sense, if you're looking at what the trade-off is financially. It is a very, very hard thing, that new dentists are dealing with now, man. Just making that big old payment. And
Yeah.
so, like, what you don't want to be is graduate and then start working and then find out that you hate the job, but
Mhm.
now you have to do this for 10 years to pay off your loan. That will be very depressing. So try to avoid that.
Yeah, I think was I was all like before I made a decision, like I work because like shadowing is different than like actually working in a dental office. So I took the time these last 3 or 4 months to like really work as a dental assistant in a dental office. And like I know from the beginning, like I don't want to, like I just want to stick to like minimally invasive and cosmetic procedures. Like I don't like doing surgeries as much. And
Mhm.
I was looking at that, and like the growth for that margin like isn't as high as like doing like complicated like like implants and surgeries and things like that. Like the dentist I was working for, she was like, I'm hiring for $500 a day for new associates, and that comes out to like 120, and on top of that you have to pay taxes on it, so it doesn't leave you with like a um much room to like actually live with.
So what is it that you actually want to do, like on a day to day? Where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing so that you're happy? Is it so like you're in the chair doing work on your patients, like that makes you happy, or do you want to be on your computer, or do you want to be like out and about talking to people, making deals, or like what do you think will make you happy?
I think I think the like what intrigued me about dentistry was the lifestyle that it had provided. Like my parents always grew up with like a cousin who was a dentist who went to school like 20, 30 years ago. And they would be like, he works Monday through Thursday and then gets a long weekend like every week. And like he has enough money to travel and things like that. So I think what would make me happy is like problem solving and things like that that I would get compensated well for, but it would also allow me because like I'm not overly passionate about dentistry, but it was a career that I enjoyed that I could see myself doing in, which would let me pursue my other passions through the income that I thought I would generate through dentistry.
What are your other passions?
I love traveling. I love cooking, and I want to go to like different countries and take like cooking classes and things like that. And I love going to sporting events, like a huge NFL, NBA guy.
Mhm.
So all of that stuff.
So I got another question for you. Are you the kind of person that when you get a job, you basically want to clock in, do the job, and not really have to think a lot, and then clock out at the end of the day? Or do you want to like, are you somebody who's trying to think about efficiencies in the business and running a business and maybe hiring people to work in your business? Like which side are you on in that?
The second one actually, like I love the business. Like that's another reason. Like I love the business aspect of dentistry, and like it's just that like it would just take me a long time to even get there. I would assume like coming out as a new grad, working as an associate, and then buying a practice, like
More
not
debt. That's
that.
more debt, right? Yeah. Okay. So what I would say is there's a couple things there. Dentistry is really cool in that there's a lot of different opportunities to create niches for yourself. You're right, surgery does compensate well, but it doesn't mean like other things don't compensate well. I think the trick is coming out of dental school to not be like every single other person that graduates from dental school. Otherwise, you're just going to get compensated the average. Like you just told me, it's 8,500, 8,400 a month or something. So if you're an average graduate, you're just going to get an average pay. It's going to take you an average amount of time to pay off your debt. And there's nothing, I mean, I don't know. Some people are happy with it. That's why I said, like, are you the kind of person that's just going to graduate and just clock in, clock out, do the work, and you're move on with your life?
Mhm.
Or are you trying to explore what efficiencies there are and create a system? So you said you're the second type of person. So
Yeah.
if you want to pursue dentistry and see it from a business point of view, you have to be aware that dentistry is a very I'd say it's a little bit unique
Mhm.
that people come out and own their own business, but then they work themselves. They are their own worker and they work themselves to death, right? So what you want to do is know that already and develop a system so that you're not the like your business is not just banking on you. And
Mhm.
it's totally possible to do that. It's totally possible. So just an example, if you graduate and say you want to focus on veneers or something, like if you have a general practice, um, again, it's going to basically do average. But if you niche down on something, you can niche down on veneers or whitening or something. Getting creative with your business model can make it so that you have a more appealing product. You know, I think that type of business gets more opportunity than the general practices. And then you can also create a system around that so you're not the one that's going to be slaving away for 40 years at that business.
Mhm.
And if you come out of dental school with a business mindset and you niche down on something, dude, you can totally have that lifestyle that you're talking about. Sure, Monday through Thursday, or even like 3 days a week, and or take like a 3 month vacation. It affords you so much freedom. So if you're going into dentistry knowing that you want to get creative on the business side and that you're going to build a brand around a specific niche, like it's a phenomenal space, and you'll be able to pay off that loan and then some and enjoy your life. If you don't have that side to you, just know that you're going to come out of dental school and you're going to work super hard for 5, 7 years, and then you're going to get to enjoy some of the luxuries in your life. Either way, it's some hard work, but I don't know. It definitely is a good career as long as you know that there's hard work that comes with that high interest loan.
Yeah, like I was like my like the dental practice that I go to in Stockton, like the one on 8 Mile, I forgot what it's called, but they hire new grads only and they come in 6 days a week to like to work because they say they have to put up the production to even like afford to pay their loans back. And like it's like I'm looking at like at it from like an opportunity cost to benefit ratio where it's like 4 years that like I'm not like I'm delaying making money. And then on top of that, like I'm for another like 4 to 5 years, I'm still not making any leftover money to like do anything. So like before like I won't technically start like enjoying the fruits of my labor till like I'm in my mid 30s.
Hey, that's me. Yeah, man, that's how it is. So yeah, you're approaching it the right way. People that go to dental school, they got to work really hard after dental school to pay off their loan. And yeah, in their 30s, and they're going to be enjoying some of the fruits of their labor. And that's just how it is. It takes time. You're going to enjoy the fruits of you can enjoy the fruits of your labor as an associate. Just clocking in, clocking out. By the time you're 30, you are going to have more of that freedom. But if you are also trying to get creative on the business side of it, you
Mhm.
can probably have more freedom and you can have maybe more fruits of your labor, but it also comes with more risks and more potentially more loans, like you were talking about, maybe buying a practice. So it does come with more risks. So right now you have something for sure, right? You have a for sure path.
Yeah.
You got accepted, you can do it. And as long as you know that after dental school, you got 5 years of grinding hard, then you can enjoy some fruits of your labor, right? That's on the one hand. And on the other hand, you have the unknown. But then the unknown, you're thinking that you're seeing the opportunity in it, right?
Yeah, so for me, it's like if I like I know myself as a student, like I grinded so hard to like throughout undergrad and the DAT like to get this. And like for me, like grinding through a boot camp or like there's this master's program that I've been looking at UPenn. Um and like grinding through that, like I know like even though at first it'll be hard because it's like the unknown, it's like basically learning a new language. But it's like I think like for the majority of my 20s and 30s and 40s, like with like the income that I have, I can start saving up and start like because I am in the business mindset and like I want to eventually like regardless of what I do, like have an LLC and like a holding company which manages my investments in like real estate, like maybe like crypto or other things like that. And it's just what would allow me to get there the fastest. And sometimes I'm like wondering, like I don't like dentistry is going to take a little bit more time than I would like.
The way that I see it is that all of us can basically invest in ourselves to have some skill that is monetizable, right? So you can invest it in dentistry and monetize that. You can invest it in learning to code and monetize that. Right now you have a clear path with dentistry, like how that would look, or pretty clear anyway. And
Yeah.
on the other side, you don't have a clear path yet. It's like you're going to be blazing your own trail and figuring it out, right? Yeah, you got to know yourself. Are you the kind of person that's going to blaze it and that's going to find good opportunities,
Mhm.
or are you going to get plateaued, right? What you don't want is to get plateaued. You got two options. On the one hand, you know you're going to get there, but it'll take time, and on the other hand, it's uncertain, right?
Yeah.
So it's about knowing yourself too, man. If I were to do it over again, now I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing, but for a while I was unhappy, and I thought like, man, I shouldn't have taken on $800,000 in debt.
Mhm.
I should have just I should have just done other things like, other quicker, maybe more practical skills.
Mhm.
Like mechanical engineering is a great one.
Even like a lot of mechanical engineering people are like nowadays like doing masters in computer science and stuff to because software engineering just pays way more than like the higher like the big companies than like mechanical engineering does. So that's why I was looking into like the tech industry
Mhm.
because it's like it like the work life balance of what I was looking for is there as well compared to like investment banking and consulting.
Are you sure it's there though compared to dentistry? Because I mean, coding, you don't. It's not like you get off the clock at 4 o'clock and you're done. Like there's stuff that happens at night. There's stuff that you get called for. There's stuff on the weekends. You got to fix a bug. You got to fix the site.
Yeah.
I don't. um, yeah, man, that's interesting. It's interesting because it's exciting too, right? It's exciting to do something that's unknown, and you got these opportunities you can pursue. What's stopping you from right now starting a business?
Like a business,
Yeah, you said you eventually want a business. Why not start now?
money.
so, I guess here's what I'm trying to say. What we do is we try to get these skills
Hmm.
to eventually monetize and provide ourselves with a lifestyle, or provide ourselves with a life. Um, what skill do you feel like you need? You need coding first.
Coding and then like product management, project management. And like I feel like because I've like from the beginning, I've had like I'm running into a problem where like these project management and product management jobs, like as like foot in the doors while I learn coding, like at the same time, is because they're like so saturated and they just want like people who have like actual like company background. Like I've had my I've started a nonprofit since 2017 and like just managing the nonprofit and like the daily logistics of it and things like that like align with a lot of these skills that they're asking for. But because it's a nonprofit that I started and it's not from like a reputable company, like landing an interview even is hard.
Mhm. So you started the nonprofit. What does it do?
So basically I started it in, yes, 2017, and like I moved from Fairfield to Stockton like in 11th grade. And it was like a big culture shock for me, like going to a school in downtown, seeing like things that I took for granted growing up. Like a lot of these people like didn't have, like they had to worry about like money, like food on their table and things like that. So we started it to basically give back to the community. We started it small, and then we eventually got to a point where we were partnering with like local subways and businesses during like the fires epidemic.
What do you guys actually do though?
Oh, we just like it's like a community thing. Like we organize annual backpack drives, toy drives, things like that for the community.
Awesome. And then you guys distribute that to people in need.
Mhm.
Okay, dude. One thing that I would suggest. Do you got to make this decision quick?
Um, yeah, like I was hoping to have it done by March.
Yeah. You mean have make your decision by March?
Mhm.
Have you tried to start a business before?
No.
So something that I feel is really useful is to try to start a business, even if you don't need money to start a business like at all. You just look around for problems and see if you can try to solve the problem. Because you're kind, it seems like you're kind of in this space. Really easy way to do it is to start with a digital product. I would recommend the $100 startup. Have you heard of that book?
No.
So I would advise you to read that.
Okay.
Startup, and also 4 Hour Work Week. I know that's a really popular one. So those two are ones that I think will give you a really unique perspective on how to create a business with very little money. And it's basically about creating businesses anyway, it's basically about finding a problem and then like seeing if you can come up with a little solution for it, and then seeing if anybody pays for it.
Mm.
And you don't need any money because you can just do it all online. It could be as simple as writing a PDF for some procedure or some place or some technical thing that you know a little bit about, and that other people are interested in, and just getting your hands wet as far as like what that looks like will give you a much better perspective about what skills you need to acquire in order to have to own a business later and to live the life that you want.
Okay. Yeah, because my dad has two liquor stores in Stockton, and like it's like from there, like I've worked there long enough, and like I see what he does on like a daily basis, and it's a grind for sure. Um,
I
but
mean, I mean, an online business
oh, and like an e-commerce type thing.
could be. I don't know, like you could sell an ebook. You can sell.
Interesting. Okay.
That's easy. That's really really easy. You can sell. You can't sell liquor online, I guess, because there's like shipping restrictions to where you can ship to. Um, I don't know, man. Yeah, there's just so many things that you can try.
Interesting. Yeah. And I thought it would like for me like during this time period to reach out to as many people as I could to like provide like their opinion on this because had I not like sat down and done all this math or like really looked at it like I would be setting myself up for like five, like you said, 5 to like 10 years of like being like, oh snap, like like I'm working 6 days a week, like 9 hours a day. Like,
But you
there's
could totally crush it too. Like that's where I was, right? I was grinding away, and then now it's going ultra well, and I would have been able to do this without going into dentistry.
yeah.
So I'm so happy, man. Like I wouldn't make any changes with what I'm doing at all. So it's tough. It's just if you feel like, dude, you're not gonna get the answer. You have to be careful about asking too many people,
Mhm.
because you're gonna get, like, if you ask your mom or you ask your sibling or something or your uncle, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't want this guy to get hurt. Let's just pick something really safe. Like, I feel bad for you. I want something safe for you, you know? So they don't have the full picture that you have in your mind for your life. Only you know what you want for your life. If you take somebody else's advice, that could throw you off track. And
Mhm.
then 10 years from now, you'll be like, fuck, I shouldn't have listened to that. Shouldn't have listened to that uncle. He didn't know what I wanted for my life.
Okay.
So it's very much like you just got to know yourself and like really like ask the people who you think have the most insight. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Sorry, man. Yeah, I know it's not a clear yes or no or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It like it also like I've also factored like living in different states where like there's not a state income tax and things like that.
Mhm.
You take home more money. But the problem is like their average associates are making less money in those states. So it, like kind of evens out.
Look, I'm just going to leave you with one last thing. Something that would have been a really good strategy for me was going out of state. Sorry, go out of country to study dentistry. Going out of the country, having really little debt, coming back to the States and doing a specialty, and then you can practice without doing an international program. So people that do that come out with like very, very little debt, and they're making a lot. So that's one interesting route to pursue. I would recommend that to my kids.
You don't have to go back to dental school because
There's a couple ways. So one, you study out of the country, and then you come back and you got to go to dental school again. It sucks. It's expensive, but a lot of people do that. The other way to do it, go to dental school out of the country, in one of like the approved programs. You know what I mean? Out of the country, and then come back here and do a specialty directly to specialty. You could do like a 2 or 3 year specialty,
mm,
and then you come out and you can already practice as a specialist, right? So your loans will be a lot less. The only catch is that you'll be restricted to a few different states, right? Some you can't do it in California, for example, but a lot of states let you do it. Florida does. So you can be a practicing, periodontist in Florida, making 500K. Well, I don't know about 500K, 350K a year, and have very little debt, kicking it on the beach. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, man. I'll catch you later, dude. Best wishes.
Thank you. Bye bye.